Alright, so it's super late. Actually, I can't sleep, so I figure might as well just do a video because maybe that'll help me sleep, right? Um, so this is a video. Let me turn this so it's not in my eyes. This is a Ask HershNoeie, and this one is kind of something that is in my family too, right? It's one of those things that people don't really like to talk about. But this person says, "Hi Hirsch, wanted to tell you my situation. I am now in my late 20s, but I grew up not knowing who my family was. I was adopted, and I was adopted by my grandmother. And when I say I don't know who my family was, I don't know who my mother and my father. I didn't know who my mother and father was until later on in life. By the time I was 18, I figured out who my birth mom was, and she was a relative. I was shocked to find out who she was, and always wondered why she did not want me. And so this person goes on and on and on, and really and truly, it's a fairly detailed message. They go on to say a few years after I was born, they ended up having another child and kept that child. So now I'm puzzled. Why did they keep that person but not keep me? This caused a lot of issues. I was given up as a child, had a great life, but still grappling with the issue of this. The rest of the family has moved on. I am not moving on. I'm still kind of stuck. I don't know what to do. What should I do? Should I stop going to family functions? Should I talk to this person? What should I do? Well, first off, thank you for and it goes much more into detail, right? It's a fairly detailed and long email, and I appreciate it. Um, Thank you for that message and that email. Um, Before I jump into that, make sure you join our Discord because we talk about various different topics. And there's been a lot of people that have brought up a lot of different things, really deep conversations. There's a section for deep combos, and there's been some pretty deep conversations that's been going on. So it's pretty good. Um, in our family, something similar happened, right? I'm not going to go into the details of it, but this is one of those sticky type topics. First, let me say that I don't know what it's like to be adopted. You know, Noelle's adopted. I know that folks who are adopted either have a good experience or a bad experience or whatever. You know, it's kind of an in between. It's a touchy topic. It's a touchy topic, and it's one of those topics where you have to be. I have to be mindful of because I'm speaking from a different vantage point. I wasn't adopted, so I'm speaking from a different vantage point. But my mother and father were married for a very long time. And I've told this story many times. And they started to split whenever I was coming around. I was actually an oops. I was kind of a makeup session, you know? And so I knew who my father was, obviously, but I didn't really get to know him, and it was an awkward situation for him, and it was one situation for me. I was a mix of emotions, right? Mix of emotions. I finally forgave him and moved forward, but it still didn't make it any better that he didn't spend time with me growing up. When you're dealing with a situation like yours, it's similar in that aspect where you have a birth mom who really and truly wasn't there for you, right? And so that sense of abandonment, I can kind of understand, but not completely, if that makes sense. Family functions are a little bit challenging and tricky because I can see where everybody knows and knew what was going on way before you did. And yet you didn't. And then when you go around all these people, they already know the story, they've moved on, and it makes things a little bit difficult, right? Again, similar situation in our family, not involving me, but similar situation in our family too. I would say if you want to have a relationship with that person who is your mother, then do so. If you don't, then don't. I do think a conversation needs to be had because you cannot continue life dodging. And this is something we tell the person that's in our family. And they don't seem to listen, and they have been on this earth longer than I have. So, I mean, you can't teach an old dog new tricks sometimes. But I think that you need to have a conversation and really, not necessarily for them, but for you, have that conversation of why, what happened, why was this, why was the circumstance. It could be a very legitimate situation. It could be a whole host of reasons as to why this happened. But I think that you owe that to yourself, and you're also kind of lucky. You're lucky because you had a great person to raise you, but you're also lucky in knowing who your birth mom is. Some people don't know. Noelle doesn't know. So some people don't know. And when you're thinking about health issues and health conditions, then that can be a problem if you don't know. But at least you have that. At least you know who this person is and you're able to reach out to them. Again, there's millions of people who can't do that. So I would, if I were you, probably fill the water and see if it's something you want to do. Obviously, there's a lot of based on some of the things you say, it feels like there's a lot of anger, and that makes sense. I think any reasonable person would say, yeah, you should be angry, right? But I think that the first thing that you probably want to do is definitely seek counseling, right? I think a counselor is great because it helps put things into perspective, helps you see things a little bit differently. A lot of times when you're in the middle of something, you just see just straight ahead and you don't see all the things that happened around. There's not this holistic view. It's just blinders, and you're seeing what you're wanting to see versus what reality could possibly be. So I think before you have that sit down, go through counseling, talk to them, get a different unbiased view on this. And then that can give you a platform and a solid foundation to go from versus just diving right in, because I think at that point it's just going to be raw emotion. So give yourself a chance by getting counseling. There's going to be questions that they probably will make you think about. And it may make you also work through some of your own issues. You've talked about that you have commitment issues now. And maybe that's due to, and you're saying maybe it's due to what happened with your mom. Maybe. But again, that's another reason why counseling probably is a good option. And then definitely speaking to your birth mom and asking what's going on. Because here's the thing, it could be something that you might say, okay, now that you told me exactly what happened, all right. I mean, it sucks, but okay. Or it could be a situation where it was something that didn't make sense. But you owe it to yourself. You also have a sibling as well. And getting the chance to know them is very valuable, right? One of the things that you don't want to do is wait, because time is never really on your side when things like this is involved. The longer it goes, the harder it is, usually. And people can leave this earth in an instant. I never believe in just, waiting to see what's going to happen. Right? Every time I've done that, I've regretted it. Right? There's times when to take certain things slow, but then there's other times like this where you really need to work out a lot of the issues that you need to, because there may come a point in time when you're not able to do so. And the only person that can answer those questions would be your birth mom. No one else can answer those questions. They can give you kind of a general idea of what happened, of what was said, or from their own point of view, but you're never going to get first-hand account to the person who's directly involved. So personally, I think that counseling then I would say have a meeting with your birth mom. You can even bring your grandmother there with you, whatever the case may be, and have that discussion. Let them know that you're not coming from a place of anger or what have you, that you actually went, get counseling because of this. You're just seeking answers. And I think that probably would be a better approach. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for giving me the question. Make sure you all join our Discord, which is going to be in the description box below. I can't talk because it's late. Anyhow, and I'm getting tongue tied. Anyhow, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.